Lovely people out there tuning in to our news episode for the first week of May. Does it say something on the back of that, Nolan?
No, it doesn't,
Oh,
Jeff.
because last time you did that.
Last time it did. It should say something about that, that hairdo you got going on.
It is May 1st, 2014. I'm Jeffrey Jorgensen.
And I'm Nolan Weiss. First week of May. Cannot wait for this beautiful weather that we have planned for this week. You know what it means when there's nice weather on May Day?
What?
Rioting.
Rioting?
Always.
The riots always happen.
I do not know why, but they love to riot on May Day.
Occupy May.
Occupy May, yeah.
Occupy May Day.
It's going to be so nice out. They're going to be rioting for a long time.
They just don't know what to do during nice days.
No, it's beautiful May Day. Go leave some flowers on your neighbor's porch because that's what you're supposed to do on May Day. Be nice. And share some love.
Share some love. And this guy was not sharing the love.
No, he was not.
The owners of the Clipper is fired from the Clippers franchise and banned from the NBA for life for making racist comments to his girlfriend about her friends.
She was hanging out with an African-American black man, and Mr. Sterling, Donald Sterling, did not like this, and she actually recorded him saying some racist things, which got out, of course, and is going to ruin Donald Sterling's life on those comments.
He was not only kicked out of the NBA, fired from being the owner. He actually had to sell the team for less than it was worth. And he was just being announced for an award for the NAACP.
Wow, that is devastating. And then to watch, probably on TV, you probably didn't even watch the game, but to hear the Clippers played their playoff game with their jerseys inside out.
Yeah.
What a smack in the face. But hey, they stood up to their to the owner and said, hey, we didn't like your comments.
Yep, they fought against what is right and what's wrong.
Why doesn't the Clippers come to old Seattle?
Yeah, no kidding, huh? We could use them.
We could use them.
We could use them.
Our baseball, talking about sports, our Mariners are no bueno right now.
I can't remember when they ever have been bueno.
Yeah, well, it's always the first couple games of the season. First series of the season.
It's preseason usually. Preseason we look pretty good.
Yeah.
And then the season comes and it's just like...
It's a tough season so far.
Man.
Atari games. If you're a video game nerd...
Nolan is.
And you heard about this story? Atari games like E.T., the extraterrestrial, they buried 1 million copies supposedly in... New Mexico. I was about to say New York. They probably have a million copies.
New Jersey.
Ooh, no, they don't have anything good in New Jersey.
Nope.
They hired some archaeologists and some engineers to dig up this ancient burial of Atari games, and they found it. Success.
Very cool.
It made, hopefully, this E.T. game that I do have worth a lot more than it is, because it's a terrible game.
Yeah. Does it have Drew Barrymore in it?
I don't think so. But that'd be a lot cooler if it did.
Yes, it would. But at the same time, I'm sure the games are unplayable for how long they've been buried.
You never know. These video games, I've actually got some that have been
like a CD
flooded. No, it's not a CD like you described. These things have went through fires and floods, and they still play on the systems.
Pretty impressive.
Yeah, not like these CDs now.
Yep, not like the games that they make today.
No.
When are they just going to start putting games online that you just buy online?
Well, they have those.
Well, they're called online games.
Online gaming. International student presentation took place at the Roslyn Library, and Regan was down there to get this amazing event. And thank you so much to the Roslyn Library for putting this on. And it's on INTV at selected times.
We have very short winters and very cold winters, and longer summers and very hot summers. And when it's raining, it's always not in the right season and not in the right moments. And when it rains, it's very heavily rains, so it could destroy all crops and agricultural products. So we have a very problem in water scarcity and water resources. We have a lot of dams. We built a lot of dams, but because of the population growth, industry and whatever, we need more and more water. In some regions we have a very big dry, like in California now and in other regions, so it's a big problem.
In the last 10 years, Uruguay has been growing from the economic point of view a lot. We are now concerned about the social issues because this economic growth was not translated in all like the social benefits we thought it would be. When we started growing we were coming from a very big crisis in 2002. So when we started growing, nobody cares about natural resources and about the environment. The national prices of soy, for example, they are very high. So in Uruguay, they start cultivating this kind of things that they didn't used to do that.
On that very same day, on the 25th, Puget Sound Energy had an event taking place down at the Centennial Center, and INTV was there to catch up to see what was going on.
Hi, I'm Zach Bates with Puget Sound Energy. I'm an energy advisor. I work in the energy efficiency department for residential and commercial customers. We are here celebrating the retrofit of a couple substations, the Cle Elum and the Cascade substation. So essentially we had been close to capacity in terms of electrical load in this area, and so we've upgraded the substation so we can continue to provide reliable transmission and distribution to the area.
What does your booth entail at this presentation?
I'm here showing natural gas conversion, so people that want to switch from propane, oil, electricity to natural gas. We have our pipeline maps right here, so we're letting them know if it's available, what the cost would be to put a meter in and run a line, and then PSC offers up to about $3,600 in rebates for converting from electric to natural gas. So not only do you get a lot of savings from switching to natural gas, we'll give you some money to do it.
Hi, my name is Rick Rosencobb with Puget Sound Energy. I'm an energy management engineer for our business energy management group. What I do is provide rebates and grants for our commercial and industrial customers. And what we have is programs that are available for anything from lighting to energy efficiency audits, walkthroughs that we can provide. And we also give out grants and rebates associated with energy efficiency equipment. That includes HVAC, lighting, space heating, and other industrial processes.
Thank you everybody at Puget Sound Energy for putting on that great event, letting everybody know how they can save money and save energy at their homes. If you missed that, make sure to get in touch with Puget Sound Energy or check them out online. They have some great information.
There is some great tips online.
There is. April 25th was a big Friday. We started down at the Ellensburg Quilt Show, and if you missed it, luckily INTV was there, our very own Regan, capturing all the great events.
We first worked together with the Barn Quilts of Kittitas County for the inaugural dedication last year, and the quilt show was born. This year we continued with the quilt show as an annual event, and this year we had the pleasure of working with 8 quilters within the county, and we put on the show for the second year. Quilting has always been passed generation by generation. So quilting has always been, for no pun intended, but the fabric of the U.S. And so families use it for multiple purposes, and now it's becoming an art form. And so we knew it would be, if we brought a quilt show, quilters would come. We have over 240 quilts. The oldest quilt is 146 years old, so that's just a piece in history of its own.
I would like to see more people, and I know there are a lot more quilters in Kittitas County that quilt. This isn't a judged show, it's a show to share our heritage. And that's what I'd like to see, is more people participate in understanding that it isn't a juried show, it's just a show to share our ideas of what quilts are and our own heritage. And I'd like to see it grow in that way.
I'm Julie Verhurl, and I just came to admire what's here. My neighbor made a quilt for me, and she entered it into this, I don't know what you display. So I wanted to see just how it compared to all the others, and just to admire, oh my goodness, the work that has been done here. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, what I love is that each quilt has a story. Each piece of fabric has a story.
Yes. And it's so tempting because the ones that think I love the best have the little tiny pieces of fabric that you know came from grandmother's dress or great-grandmother's dress, and they just have this sweet old-fashioned colors and flowers, and you can just imagine.
Tour of the museum took place down in Ellensburg, and the topic of the day was, how did the cougar cross the road?
How do you do it?
I have no idea, but check it out.
I'm Mark Auslander. I'm an associate professor of anthropology and museum studies here at Central Washington University, where I also direct this museum, the Museum of Culture and Environment. We have a particular focus on Eastern Washington and the Columbia Basin. We have a new exhibition called How Did the Cougar Cross the Road? It's all about the really big Snoqualmie East construction project along I-90 that everybody in Kittitas County has become very familiar with. A lot of the important wildlife corridors between the North Cascades and the Central Cascades have been shut off by I-90, and it's been very difficult for 200 major animal species to reconnect between the north and south sides of the interstate. But another major component of that project is restoring wildlife corridors and what scientists call eco-connectivity, to allow animals to move back and forth. From a genetic standpoint, more and more animal populations have been separated north and south of the interstate. This means that what geneticists call harmful alleles, that is to say traits that are passed on from generation to generation, are getting denser and denser in those small populations. The only way to ensure that those populations have a chance to thrive is to make sure that connections between those populations grow and are enhanced so that there's more and more genetic diversity, a larger gene pool. Native community partners tell us it was possible during the salmon run to walk right across the Yakima River. That hasn't been possible for a long time, but the Yakima Nation, in partnership with scientists here at Central and with a lot of other state and federal agencies, have been working to restore the salmon run. And this past July, it was just a beautiful thing. For the first time in 100 years, sockeye salmon that had started up in the streams above Lake Cle Elum had come down to the Pacific. They returned from the Pacific, and with a little help from Yakima Nation Fisheries, made their way back up to Lake Cle Elum and into the spawning creeks just above the lake.
The Memorial Run in South Cle Elum's coming up, and this is raising money to help fight cancer for the Relay of Life. This is in memory for Kay High Pockets Halty, so don't miss out. May 4th. It's going to be a great time, and get out there, exercise a little, and raise some money for Relay for Life.
The Polar Plunge is going to be taking place on May 4th, and INTV brought an interview to you guys with Dawn, Mark, and Chief Ferguson.
Hi, I'm Mark Flateau, Superintendent, Cle Elum-Roslyn School District.
I'm Dawn Bass, Director of Youth Programs for Community Builders and Counselor at Alcohol Drug Dependency Service.
I'm Scott Ferguson with the Cle Elum-Roslyn South Cle Elum Police Department, and to my left is our mascot, the Dancing Polar Bear.
My name's West Adams, and I'm with the Cascade Prevention Coalition.
And we are all members of Upper Kittitas County Youth Resource Team.
The members of the Upper Kittitas County Youth Resource Team come together on a monthly basis to try and plan fundraisers to fund events for local kids. We put on events such as a drug-free youth retreat, a middle school lock-in, a summer youth activities program. We've had many speakers come into the school district to teach our kids about the dangers of sexting and texting, bullying, and also other alcohol and drug prevention speakers. So this year we're planning our 3rd annual Polar Bear Plunge up at Lake Easton on May 4th. It's the first Sunday of the month, a great way to start off. We'll be jumping in at Lake Easton. 2 years ago when we did this, the water was about 32 degrees. So we are looking for sponsors. We are encouraging teams to be formed. If you are part of an organization or agency that is invested in the youth of our community, then you really need to come participate in this event. You can find forms at Inland Networks in their Cle Elum office and Roslyn office. You can also get them at all the school offices here in Cle Elum-Roslyn School District. If you have any questions, you can give me a call at 509-899-2561. We really need to raise the money to make these worthwhile events happen for our kids. Please join us.
Hey, not only are we raising money for a great cause, but it's just a fun day. Teams come out, they're dressed in costumes, there's awards, there's music, there's food. It's just an absolute fun day. And it's really not that bad jumping in the water. So we really encourage people to come out. Again, May 4th at 1 o'clock. We'd really like to come out and support our cause and have a good, fun day with your family out here.
And that's why we are freezing for a reason.
Thank you, everybody, putting on the Polar Plunge. Get out there and be freezing for a reason. Raising money for the kids of the Upper Kittitas County. Very important right there.
Very cold.
Very cold and very cool.
Yep.